Have you ever enjoyed a sweet, juicy fruit, convinced it's the perfect healthy snack, only to feel unexpectedly tired, dizzy, or off balance afterward? Fruits are often hailed as nature's gift, bursting with color, flavor, and nutrients. But as we age, some of these everyday favorites can turn against us, spiking blood sugar, clashing with medications, or even harming our kidneys. Hi, I'm Your Name, and today we're uncovering 8 dangerous fruits seniors should steer clear of, plus safe, tasty alternatives to keep you vibrant. Stick around until the end, because knowing just one of these could save you from a health scare you never saw coming. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Star fruit, the silent kidney killer. Star fruit, with its vibrant yellow hue and distinctive star-shaped slices, is often celebrated as an exotic delicacy. For many, it's a refreshing tropical indulgence, a fruit that evokes images of sun-soaked beaches and carefree vacations. People pluck it from grocery store shelves or farmers markets without hesitation, drawn to its unique appearance and crisp, juicy texture. But beneath its appealing exterior lies a hidden danger that few consider, especially for those over the age of 60. What if I told you that this seemingly innocent fruit could be quietly wreaking havoc on your body, targeting one of your most vital organs, your kidneys? As we age, our bodies undergo subtle yet significant changes. Our kidneys, which act as the body's filtration system, naturally lose some of their efficiency over time. This decline might not announce itself with dramatic warning signs, at least not right away. You might notice a touch more tiredness after a long day, occasional puffiness in your ankles or hands, or perhaps a shift in how often you need to visit the bathroom. These symptoms are easy to dismiss as just part of getting older. But inside, your kidneys are laboring harder than ever to remove waste and toxins from your blood. For seniors, this gradual decline can go unnoticed until it's too late, setting the stage for a dangerous encounter with star fruit. The chilling reality is that many older adults, potentially millions, live with reduced kidney function without ever being diagnosed. Routine checkups might not catch it unless specific tests, like a glomerular filtration rate, GFR, assessment, are requested. And for those with even mildly compromised kidneys, star fruit isn't just a risky choice, it's a potential poison. The culprit? A naturally occurring neurotoxin called carboxin, unique to star fruit. In younger, healthier individuals with robust kidney function, carboxin poses little threat. The kidneys filter it out effortlessly, and it exits the body unnoticed. But for seniors whose kidneys are already strained, this toxin doesn't leave so easily. Instead, it accumulates in the bloodstream, creating a toxic buildup that can silently infiltrate the nervous system. The effects can strike with alarming speed and severity. What begins as mild dizziness or a vague sense of unease can quickly escalate into confusion, nausea, and vomiting. In some cases, victims experience muscle tremors or full-blown seizures. For the most vulnerable, the consequences can be catastrophic: coma, irreversible neurological damage, or even death. Medical journals have documented cases where just one star fruit, or a small glass of its juice, triggered life-threatening symptoms in seniors with undiagnosed kidney issues. The danger lies in its unpredictability. You might enjoy star fruit for years without incident, only to cross an invisible threshold as your kidney function declines with age. Consider the story of John, a 72-year-old retiree from Florida. A fit and active man, John prided himself on his healthy lifestyle. He avoided sugary sodas and greasy fast food, opting instead for fresh, natural options like fruits and vegetables. One day, while browsing his local supermarket, he spotted star fruit and decided to add it to his diet for a bit of variety. It seemed like a smart, wholesome choice. After all, how could a fruit be harmful? He savored its tart sweetness daily, unaware that his kidneys, silently weakened by decades of wear, were no longer up to the task of processing it. Within a week, John began noticing subtle changes. His memory faltered during conversations, his hands trembled slightly when he reached for objects, and a strange fog clouded his thoughts. He chalked it up to aging, reluctant to bother his doctor over what felt like minor complaints. Then, one quiet afternoon, he collapsed in his living room, unconscious. His family rushed him to the emergency room, where baffled doctors ran a battery of tests. The diagnosis was shocking. Star fruit toxicity had overwhelmed his compromised kidneys, triggering a neurological crisis. Blood tests revealed elevated levels of carboxin, and further examination confirmed that John had been living with moderate chronic kidney disease, completely unbeknownst to him. His story isn't unique. The National Kidney Foundation has issued explicit warnings about star fruit for seniors, particularly those with kidney concerns. Their research shows that even a small serving, less than half a fruit, can tip the scales from safe to deadly in at-risk individuals. Yet, this knowledge remains obscure, overshadowed by starfruit's reputation as a healthy treat. This underscores a critical truth. What nourishes us in our younger years can become a liability as we age. In your 40s or 50s, a star fruit might have been a harmless delight. But in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, it's a gamble not worth taking. Fortunately, safer alternatives abound for those who crave tropical flavors. Asian pears offer a crisp, juicy bite with a subtle sweetness, while dragon fruit delivers an exotic flair. Its vibrant pink skin and speckled flesh make it a feast for the eyes and palate, all without the toxic risks. Even mangoes or papayas, when eaten in moderation, provide that vacation vibe without endangering your health. The lesson here is clear. Understanding your body's evolving needs is essential. Your kidneys have served you well for decades. Don't put them at unnecessary risk. When it comes to star fruit, the wisest choice is to steer clear entirely. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 2. Grapes, the blood sugar trap. Grapes have long held a cherished spot in our diets, heralded as nature's perfect snack. They're small enough to pop into your mouth without a second thought, bursting with sweetness, and require no preparation. Just rinse and enjoy. Picture a warm afternoon with a handful of cool, plump grapes, a bowl perched on the coffee table during a movie night, or a few scattered into a salad for a juicy contrast. For decades, they've been marketed as a wholesome, guilt-free treat, packed with antioxidants and vitamins. But for seniors, especially those navigating diabetes, prediabetes, or age-related blood sugar sensitivity, these tiny orbs of flavor can be a deceptive trap, hiding risks that outweigh their convenience. Aging brings inevitable shifts in how our bodies handle sugar. Metabolism slows, cells become less responsive to insulin, and the pancreas may struggle to keep blood glucose levels stable. By the time we reach our 60s or 70s, insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes, becomes increasingly common, even in those who've never had blood sugar issues before. For seniors, sudden spikes in glucose aren't just a minor inconvenience. They can accelerate a cascade of health problems, from nerve damage and vision loss to heightened risks of stroke and heart disease. Grapes, despite their innocent reputation, are a surprisingly potent culprit. Their high glycemic index, a measure of how quickly a food raises blood sugar, means they deliver a rapid, intense surge of glucose into the bloodstream. Unlike fruits rich in fiber, like apples or pears, which release sugar gradually, grapes offer little resistance, flooding the system almost instantly. The aftermath is a roller coaster of energy highs and lows. 1 minute, you're buzzing with a fleeting burst of vigor. The next, you're crashing, left sluggish and drained. Over weeks or months, these repeated spikes take a toll. For Patricia, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Chicago, this lesson came at a cost. Determined to improve her diet after a lifetime of indulging in sweets, she swapped her afternoon cookies for a bowl of red grapes. It felt like a victory, trading processed sugar for nature's bounty. She relished their juicy snap, convinced she was making a healthier choice. But within a few weeks, something felt off. Some mornings, she'd wake up lightheaded, her vision blurry around the edges. By midday, an overwhelming fatigue would set in, forcing her to lie down for hours. She wondered if stress or lack of sleep was to blame, hesitant to connect the dots to her new snack habit. A routine checkup changed everything. Her doctor, reviewing her blood work, noticed erratic glucose levels that didn't align with her otherwise stable health. After some probing, Patricia mentioned her grape routine, about a cup daily. The doctor explained the science. That innocent cup was delivering roughly 25 grams of sugar, equivalent to a candy bar, with none of the fiber or protein to buffer its impact. For Patricia, whose aging body was already less adept at managing glucose, this was a recipe for instability. Her healthy swap had been silently stressing her system, pushing her closer to prediabetes. Her story echoes a broader trend. Seniors often overestimate the safety of fruits like grapes, unaware of how their bodies have changed since their younger years. But blood sugar isn't the only hazard grapes pose. For older adults, they're also a surprising choking risk. As we age, the swallowing reflex weakens, saliva production diminishes, and muscle coordination declines. Changes that can turn a simple snack into a medical emergency. Grapes, with their smooth, slippery skins and firm, round shape, are perfectly sized to lodge in the windpipe. The National Safety Council reports a 30% increase in choking incidents linked to grapes among seniors over the past 5 years, with the risk climbing higher for those with dentures, missing teeth, or weakened jaw strength. One wrong bite, one distracted moment, and a pleasant snack can become a fight for breath. Does this mean fruit is off the table? Not at all. Safer options can satisfy that craving without the peril. Blueberries and raspberries, for instance, offer a similar sweet tart burst but with lower sugar, higher fiber, and a softer texture that's easier to chew and swallow. If grapes are a must, take precautions. Cut them into quarters to reduce choking risks and limit yourself to a small handful. Say, 10 to 12 grapes, rather than a heaping bowl. Pair them with a protein like a slice of cheese or a few nuts to slow the sugar rush. The goal isn't deprivation. It's empowerment through informed choices. Aging gracefully means adapting to your body's new realities, not clinging to habits that no longer serve you. Grapes may be a classic, but for seniors, they're a treat best enjoyed sparingly, if at all. 3. Oranges, the acid reflux trigger. Oranges have long held a cherished place in the world of nutrition, celebrated as a vibrant symbol of health and vitality. Bursting with vitamin C, they're often touted as a natural booster for the immune system, a go-to remedy for colds, and a staple in many households. For countless seniors, the day begins with the ritual of squeezing fresh orange juice or peeling a juicy orange, a habit ingrained from years of hearing about its benefits. The bright citrus scent fills the kitchen, promising energy and wellness. Yet, beneath this wholesome reputation lies a hidden downside that many overlook. Oranges, despite their nutritional accolades, can silently wreak havoc on aging bodies, contributing to digestive woes, dental damage, and even medication mishaps. As we grow older, our bodies undergo subtle but significant changes. The digestive system, in particular, becomes more delicate with time. One key player in this process is the lower esophageal sphincter, LES, a muscular valve that sits between the stomach and the esophagus. In youth, this valve functions like a reliable gatekeeper, keeping stomach contents, especially corrosive acids, where they belong. But with age, the LES weakens, its grip loosening just enough to allow stomach acid to creep back up into the esophagus. This backflow, known as acid reflux, brings with it a familiar yet distressing sensation, a burning in the chest, a tightness in the throat, or even a sour taste lingering in the mouth. Oranges, with their naturally high acidity, act like an unwitting accomplice in this process. What seems like a harmless fruit or a refreshing glass of juice can quickly turn into a trigger, amplifying the discomfort of acid reflux and leaving seniors grappling with heartburn or indigestion. For some, the consequences go beyond a fleeting ache. Nighttime reflux, where acid escapes the stomach during sleep, can jolt people awake with a searing throat or a persistent cough. Over months or years, this repeated exposure to acid can erode the delicate lining of the esophagus, potentially leading to complications like esophagitis or Barrett's esophagus, a precursor to more serious conditions. Take Margaret, a 73-year-old grandmother from Minnesota, as a real-life example. For decades, she faithfully started her mornings with a tall glass of orange juice, convinced it was fortifying her against illness. But over time, she began to notice a nagging burn in her chest, particularly after lying down at night. Sleep became elusive, interrupted by discomfort she couldn't shake. She experimented with antacids, propped herself up with extra pillows, and even switched to decaf coffee, yet the symptoms persisted. It wasn't until a routine visit to her doctor that the culprit came to light. Her physician suggested a simple experiment: eliminate citrus fruits, including her beloved oranges. Skeptical but desperate, Margaret complied. Within just a few weeks, the burning subsided, her sleep improved, and she felt a renewed sense of control over her health. The trouble with oranges doesn't stop at digestion. Their acidity poses a stealthy threat to another vulnerable area: the teeth. Aging naturally thins tooth enamel, the hard, protective outer layer that shields against wear and tear. Once this barrier weakens, it's far less equipped to withstand acidic assaults. Oranges, whether eaten whole or sipped as juice, bathe the teeth in citric acid, gradually eroding enamel and leaving them prone to sensitivity, yellowing, and cavities. For seniors already contending with receding gums or decades of dental wear, this can accelerate damage that's costly, both financially and in terms of comfort, to repair. Then there's the issue of medication interference, a lesser-known but critical risk. Oranges and their juice can interact with more than 50 commonly prescribed drugs, a fact that catches many seniors off guard. Medications for blood pressure, cholesterol management, and even certain antidepressants rely on precise absorption to work effectively. Citrus compounds, particularly in oranges and grapefruits, can disrupt this process, either diminishing the drug's potency or amplifying their side effects. For someone taking a daily pill with breakfast, that glass of orange juice might unknowingly undermine their treatment plan, leaving them less protected against heart disease or depression. So, what's the alternative? Fortunately, vitamin C isn't exclusive to citrus. Red bell peppers, with their mild flavor and crunchy texture, deliver even more vitamin C per serving than oranges, without the acidic punch. Kiwi, too, offers a sweet tart option that's gentler on the stomach and teeth. If giving up oranges feels impossible, small tweaks can help. Avoid eating them on an empty stomach, dilute juice with water to lessen its intensity, and time consumption well away from medication doses, ideally by a few hours. These adjustments aren't about deprivation. They're about preserving digestive peace, dental integrity, and overall wellness as the years unfold. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 4. Avocados, the hidden fat bomb. Avocados have risen to superstar status in recent years, crowned as a darling of the health food world. With their creamy texture and rich, nutty flavor, they've won over countless fans, seniors included, who see them as a guilt-free indulgence packed with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. Nutritionists praise their ability to lower bad cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and even support brain health, making them a fixture in modern diets. Toast topped with mashed avocado, salads dotted with green chunks, or smoothies blended with a velvety half have become symbols of mindful eating. Yet, for all their virtues, avocados harbor a less discussed side that can catch the unwary off guard. When eaten in excess, they can quietly contribute to weight gain, disrupt critical medications, and even spark allergic reactions, challenges that hit harder as we age. Aging brings a slower metabolism, a reality that shifts how our bodies handle calories. What once fueled an active lifestyle in our 40s or 50s can now tip the scales in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Avocados, while undeniably nutritious, pack a surprising caloric punch. A single medium avocado clocks in at around 240 calories, roughly equivalent to a full meal for some seniors with lower energy needs. It's easy to see how a daily habit of avocado toast or a generous dollop in a salad could add up. Over weeks and months, those extra calories accumulate, leading to gradual weight gain that's often dismissed as just aging. But the impact isn't trivial. Extra pounds strain aging joints, exacerbate arthritis, and burden the cardiovascular system, chipping away at mobility and vitality. Robert, a 75-year-old retiree from Denver, learned this the hard way. A former construction worker with a hearty appetite, he swapped his usual eggs and bacon breakfast for avocado toast after reading about its benefits. It felt like a win, tasty, trendy, and supposedly better for his heart. But within 6 months, he noticed his knees creaking more than usual. Climbing stairs, once a thoughtless task, turned into a slow, deliberate effort. At his next checkup, the scale revealed a 12-pound gain, weight that was quietly amplifying his joint pain and sapping his stamina. His doctor pointed to the avocado habit as a likely contributor, urging him to scale back. Reluctantly, Robert cut his intake to once or twice a week. The difference was palpable. His knees felt lighter, and his energy began to rebound. Beyond calories, Avocados pose another risk tied to their nutrient profile. They're rich in vitamin K, a nutrient essential for blood clotting, but one that can spell trouble for seniors on blood thinners like warfarin. These medications, often prescribed for heart conditions or stroke prevention, work by keeping blood flow smooth and clot-free. Too much vitamin K can counteract their effects, raising the risk of dangerous clots. For someone managing atrial fibrillation or high blood pressure, an avocado-heavy diet could unknowingly tip the balance, making medical management trickier and less predictable. There's also a lesser-known quirk. Avocados contain a protein similar to latex, a compound that can trigger reactions in people with latex fruit syndrome. This sensitivity often emerges later in life, catching seniors by surprise. Symptoms might start subtly, a tingling mouth, an itchy throat, but can escalate to swelling or breathing difficulties in rare cases. For those with a history of latex allergies, from gloves or medical devices, avocados might not be the safe superfood they seem. The good news? Healthier fats don't have to come with these pitfalls. A drizzle of olive oil on vegetables or a small handful of almonds or walnuts delivers similar benefits. Monounsaturated fats, antioxidants, and flavor, without the calorie density or medication risks. Moderation is key. If avocados remain a favorite, capping them at a quarter or half per serving, a few times a week, can keep their perks in reach while sidestepping the downsides. Small, intentional shifts like these protect mobility, heart health, and comfort, ensuring that aging feels less like a battle and more like a graceful evolution. 5. Watermelon, the fluid balance disruptor. Watermelon is practically synonymous with summer, a fruit that embodies refreshment and nostalgia. Its vibrant red flesh, dripping with juice, makes it a go-to choice for picnics, barbecues, or a simple respite from the heat. For seniors, it's often seen as a double win, a delicious way to stay cool and a natural source of hydration, especially when sipping water all day feels like a chore. With its light, crisp texture and subtle sweetness, it's easy to assume watermelon is one of the safest, healthiest fruits around. But for older adults, this beloved treat can quietly destabilize the body's delicate equilibrium, throwing off fluid levels and blood sugar in ways that lead to surprising, and sometimes serious, health consequences. Let's start with the sugar. Watermelon is over 90% water, which might trick you into thinking it's low in calories or harmless to blood sugar. Yet, hidden within that hydrating facade is a hefty dose of natural sugars, about 18 grams in just 2 cups. What's more, watermelon boasts a high glycemic index, a measure of how quickly a food raises blood glucose levels. Unlike fruits loaded with fiber, like berries or apples, that release sugar into the bloodstream gradually, watermelon acts more like a sugary drink, delivering a rapid, intense spike. For seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or age-related insulin resistance, this isn't a minor hiccup. Those sudden surges can leave you dizzy and disoriented within hours, sap your energy by mid-afternoon, and, over time, chip away at your health, damaging nerves, blood vessels, and even your eyesight. The misconception runs deep. Many assume that because watermelon is natural, it's inherently safe, a wholesome alternative to processed desserts. But those 2 cups? They pack a sugar punch equivalent to a 12-ounce can of soda, with little fiber to slow the impact. Imagine a 65-year-old retiree, sipping iced tea on the porch, slicing into a wedge of watermelon to beat the heat. It feels virtuous, until the lightheadedness creeps in, or the fatigue hits harder than expected. For those already on the edge of blood sugar instability, a daily habit of watermelon could nudge them closer to a diagnosis they'd rather avoid. But blood sugar is only half the story. Watermelon's high water content, combined with its natural potassium, can also throw off the body's fluid balance, a risk that looms larger for seniors with heart disease, high blood pressure, or weakened kidneys. Hydration is crucial, no question. Yet, too much fluid too quickly, especially from a potassium-rich source like watermelon, can overwhelm an aging system. Kidneys that aren't filtering as efficiently as they did in your 40s might struggle to keep up, while a heart already taxed by hypertension could falter under the strain. The result? Swelling in the legs, hands, or ankles, edema, shortness of breath, and a dangerous uptick in blood pressure or heart workload. Take Betty, a 78-year-old widow from Arizona. Living in the desert heat, she leaned on watermelon as her summer staple, eating a generous slice every afternoon to stay hydrated and cool. It seemed like a smart move. She'd read that staying hydrated was key to avoiding heat stroke, a real concern in her climate. But after a few days, she noticed her sandals felt tight, her ankles puffed up like dough, and climbing the stairs left her winded in a way it never had before. At first, she blamed the weather or her arthritis flaring up. But when the symptoms persisted, she called her daughter, who insisted on a doctor's visit. The verdict was sobering. Betty's daily watermelon habit had flooded her system with fluid and potassium, exacerbating her mild, undiagnosed heart condition. Her body was retaining water, putting dangerous pressure on her circulatory system. The American Heart Association warns that seniors with cardiovascular or kidney issues need to monitor fluid intake carefully, not just from drinks, but from water-rich foods like watermelon. A single oversized serving, say, a quarter of a small melon, could tip the scales from helpful to harmful. And timing matters too. Eating it late in the day, when the body's metabolism slows, increases the odds of overnight fluid retention, leaving you puffy and sluggish by morning. Betty's doctor didn't ban watermelon outright, but he urged strict moderation. No more than half a cup at a time, paired with a protein like a handful of almonds to blunt the sugar spike. So, what's the alternative? You don't have to abandon refreshing flavors altogether. Cucumber slices infused in water deliver hydration with a crisp, clean taste, minus the sugar or potassium overload. Frozen berries, like strawberries or blackberries, offer a chilled, sweet treat that's gentler on blood sugar and rich in fiber. Even a splash of lemon or lime in sparkling water can mimic that summery vibe without the risks. If watermelon's still calling your name, keep it small, think a few bite-sized cubes, and enjoy it earlier in the day, alongside a balancing snack. Aging bodies thrive on mindful adjustments, not rigid rules. By rethinking watermelon, you're not just dodging pitfalls, you're safeguarding the vitality that keeps summer sweet. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 6. Papaya, the medication interferer. Papaya has earned a glowing reputation as a tropical superfood, especially among seniors looking to soothe their stomachs. Its bright orange flesh is packed with papain, a natural enzyme touted for breaking down proteins and easing digestion. Perfect, it seems, for those pesky post-meal bloats or sluggish gut days. You'll find it sliced into breakfast bowls, blended into smoothies, or even recommended by wellness blogs as a cure-all for tummy troubles. For older adults, it's an appealing promise, a fruit that not only tastes good but also feels like it's doing good. Yet, beneath this wholesome image lurks a less savory truth. Papaya can meddle with critical medications, spark allergic reactions, and, for some, turn digestion from bad to worse. The biggest red flag? Papaya's interference with blood-thinning medications like warfarin, a lifeline for many seniors to prevent strokes, heart attacks, or blood clots. Papain doesn't just digest food, it can amplify the effects of anticoagulants, thinning the blood beyond what's safe. The result is a heightened risk of internal bleeding, spontaneous bruising, or even a dangerous hemorrhage. Seniors on these drugs often follow strict guidelines, avoiding leafy greens or grapefruit, but papaya rarely makes the warning list, slipping under the radar. It's not just blood thinners, either. Papaya can mess with diabetes medications, altering how insulin or oral hypoglycemics are absorbed, leading to unpredictable blood sugar swings. Too low one hour, too high the next. Helen, a 71-year-old from San Diego, learned this the hard way. A lifelong fruit lover, she'd added papaya to her morning routine years ago, charmed by its creamy texture and the way it settled her stomach after oatmeal. She was diligent about her health, taking warfarin for a heart condition and metformin for borderline diabetes, both carefully calibrated by her doctor. But over a few months, she started noticing odd marks, purplish bruises blooming on her arms and legs without any bumps or falls to explain them. She'd catch herself staring at them, puzzled, wondering if her skin was just getting thinner with age. Then came the nosebleeds, brief but stubborn, followed by a nagging tiredness she couldn't shake. Concerned, Helen mentioned it at her next checkup. Her doctor, reviewing her chart, asked about her diet. When she casually mentioned her daily papaya, his eyes widened. Blood tests confirmed her suspicions. Her clotting time was dangerously off, and her glucose levels were erratic. The papaya she'd trusted as a digestive ally was quietly sabotaging her medications. Her doctor explained that papain was acting like an unpredictable booster shot to her warfarin, while the fruit's sugars and enzymes were throwing her metformin off kilter. Stunned, Helen realized she'd been one routine snack away from a serious bleed, or worse. Medication isn't the only risk. Papaya's proteins can also trigger allergic reactions, a threat that grows with age. Seniors who've eaten it without issue in their 50s might suddenly find themselves sensitive in their 70s, especially if they've got a latex allergy. Papaya shares a protein cousin with latex, and cross-reactivity can spark anything from itchy lips and a scratchy throat to stomach cramps or, in rare cases, breathing trouble severe enough to warrant an ER trip. The kicker? Allergies can emerge out of nowhere, even if you've never reacted before. Then there's the digestive irony. While papain helps some, it can irritate others, especially those with sensitive stomachs or conditions like IBS. Instead of relief, they get bloating, diarrhea, or a burning sensation. Hardly the gut fix they signed up for. The National Institutes of Health cautions that seniors on multiple meds, or with allergy histories, should approach papaya with skepticism, not blind faith. Helen's doctor didn't just cut her off cold turkey. He suggested she pause it entirely until her levels stabilized, then reintroduce it sparingly, if at all, under close watch. 4 safer digestion boosts. Alternatives shine. Plain yogurt delivers probiotics to calm the gut. No enzymes required. Ginger tea, steeped from fresh root or a bag, soothes without meddling in your meds or poking at allergies. Even a ripe banana offers gentle sweetness and potassium, minus the wild cards. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 7. Bananas. The potassium overload risk. Bananas have earned a near-mythical status as the quintessential fruit. Portable, naturally sweet, and gentle on the stomach. Wrapped in their protective yellow jacket, they're a go-to snack for seniors seeking a quick energy boost or a convenient addition to breakfast. With their soft texture and mild flavor, they seem like nature's perfect gift, a wholesome source of potassium, fiber, and vitamins that promise to keep the body humming along smoothly. Yet, beneath this unassuming exterior lies a potential hazard that many older adults overlook. For those with aging kidneys, heart conditions, or blood pressure challenges, bananas can quietly transform from a dietary ally into a ticking time bomb, delivering a potassium payload that the body struggles to handle. Potassium is undeniably vital. It's the mineral that keeps muscles contracting, nerves firing, and the heart beating in steady rhythm. In moderation, it's a cornerstone of good health. But as we age, the kidneys, our body's filtration system, begin to lose their edge. Decades of wear and tear reduce their ability to sift excess potassium from the bloodstream, a process that once happened effortlessly. For seniors with undiagnosed or mild kidney disease, a condition that can simmer undetected for years, this slowdown spells trouble. Bananas, packing around 400 to 450 milligrams of potassium per fruit, can push levels beyond what the body can manage. When potassium builds up, a condition called hyperkalemia sets in, and the consequences can range from unsettling to life-threatening. Early signs might include muscle weakness, fatigue, or a vague sense of unease, symptoms easily brushed off as just getting older. But as levels climb, the heart takes notice, its rhythm faltering into irregular beats that can escalate to sudden cardiac arrest in extreme cases. James, a 74-year-old retiree from Texas, lived this reality. A lifelong banana enthusiast, he'd made them a daily ritual. 2 every morning, paired with his coffee, as a nod to their reputation as a heart-healthy staple. He had no inkling that his kidney function, quietly declining with age, was setting the stage for a crisis. One humid summer day, he stood up from his recliner and felt an alarming wave of dizziness. His legs wobbled, his pulse raced erratically, and a trip to the emergency room revealed the culprit. His potassium levels had soared to dangerous heights. Doctors traced it back to his banana habit, explaining that his kidneys could no longer keep up. They ordered an immediate ban on the fruit, and within days of cutting it out, James felt his strength return, his heartbeat steadying. What he'd seen as a harmless routine had nearly cost him his life, a sobering reminder of how even healthy choices can turn risky with age. Potassium isn't the only concern. Bananas are also laden with natural sugars, about 14 grams per fruit, and their fast-digesting carbohydrates can send blood sugar soaring. For seniors with diabetes or insulin resistance, this spike can be more than a minor inconvenience. Unlike fruits with higher fiber content that release energy gradually, bananas deliver a quick surge followed by an inevitable crash, leaving some feeling sluggish or hungrier than before. Picture a morning where a banana promises a pick-me-up, only to leave you yawning an hour later. That's the sugar roller coaster at work. For a gentler alternative, berries like strawberries or blueberries offer sweetness and antioxidants with a fraction of the potassium and a slower sugar release. Craving that creamy, comforting texture? A baked sweet potato, rich in fiber and complex carbs, provides sustained energy without overloading the system. The lesson isn't to demonize bananas, but to approach them with caution. If kidney function is a question mark, something a simple blood test can clarify, limiting intake to half a banana a few times a week might be wiser than daily doubles. Pairing them with protein or healthy fats can also temper the sugar spike. These tweaks aren't about stripping away a favorite food. They're about safeguarding the heart, stabilizing energy, and ensuring that every bite supports the body's evolving needs as the years pile on. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 8. Pineapple, the digestive disruptor. Pineapple evokes images of sun-soaked beaches and carefree indulgence, a tropical delight that's sweet, juicy, and brimming with vitamin C. For many seniors, it's a refreshing treat, a natural immune booster, or even a folk remedy for digestion, thanks to its reputation as an enzyme-rich fruit. Sliced fresh, grilled, or blended into a smoothie, it feels like a virtuous choice, a burst of sunshine on the plate. But as appealing as pineapple may be, it harbors a double-edged nature that can catch older adults off guard. Its intense acidity and potent enzymes can turn this golden fruit from a digestive friend into a foe, triggering acid reflux, stomach irritation, and even medication conflicts that hit harder with age. The trouble starts with pineapple's pH, which ranks it among the most acidic fruits. Aging weakens the body's defenses against acid reflux. The lower esophageal sphincter, the gatekeeper between stomach and esophagus, loses its tone over time. For seniors, this means stomach acid is more likely to splash upward, bringing heartburn, throat irritation, or a nagging burn in the chest. Pineapple's sharp acidity pours fuel on this fire. A single slice or a glass of juice might seem innocuous, but for those prone to reflux, it can spark hours of discomfort. Over time, this isn't just a passing annoyance. Chronic acid exposure can scar the esophagus, raising the stakes for ulcers, erosions, or worse. Imagine savoring a pineapple dessert only to spend the night propped up in bed, coughing and restless. That's the reality for some. Then there's bromelain, pineapple's signature enzyme, often hailed as a digestive superhero for breaking down proteins. In theory, it sounds ideal. In practice, it's a wild card. For seniors with sensitive stomachs, already tender from years of wear or medication use, bromelain can overdo its job, irritating the stomach lining and causing bloating, nausea, or cramping. Some even feel a prickly tingle in their mouth after eating, a sign the enzyme is breaking down more than just food. It's not a universal reaction, but for those with delicate digestion, it's a risk that overshadows the benefits. And the complications don't end there. Bromelain has blood-thinning properties, which can clash with medications like warfarin or aspirin, common among seniors managing heart disease or inflammation. Too much pineapple might amplify these drugs' effects, leading to bruising, slow clotting, or prolonged bleeding from minor cuts, a subtle danger that's easy to miss. For diabetics, pineapple's allure comes with another catch. Its high sugar content, around 16 grams per cup, can jolt blood glucose levels upward, complicating control. Pair that with its acidity, and it's a double whammy for those juggling multiple health concerns. Safer tropical swaps exist. Mango, with its milder profile, or cantaloupe, with lower acidity, deliver that sunny sweetness without the sting. If pineapple's too hard to resist, moderation is the mantra. A few chunks paired with a protein like yogurt can slow sugar absorption and buffer the acid. Timing matters too. Eating it well away from meds avoids unwanted interactions. This isn't about swearing off pineapple forever. It's about tuning in to how it lands in an aging body. Noticing a sour stomach or a scratchy throat after a serving. That's a signal to rethink the dose. Smart choices mean savoring the flavors you love while dodging the pitfalls, keeping digestion smooth and health intact for the long haul. Making smarter, safer choices as we age. Food is more than fuel. It's a thread woven through a lifetime of memories. The fruits we've cherished for decades carry the taste of childhood summers, shared meals around the table, or quiet moments of comfort. Bananas might recall a hurried breakfast before work. Pineapple might summon a rare vacation's glow. These habits and preferences feel like old friends, hard to question or let go. Yet aging rewrites the rules, subtly shifting how our bodies respond to what we eat. A snack that once felt light and nourishing can now stir up trouble, spiking blood sugar, taxing the kidneys, unsettling the stomach, or meddling with prescriptions. It's not betrayal by the fruit itself. It's the reality of a metabolism slowing, a digestive system softening, and organs adapting to the wear of years. Longevity isn't about clinging to the past. It's about evolving with the present. The idea that a fruit, so pure, so natural, could pose risks feels counterintuitive, even unfair. But the evidence is in the symptoms. The fatigue after a banana, the burn after pineapple, the weight creeping on from avocados. Our 30s and 40s forgave excess. Our 60s, 70s, and beyond demand precision. Kidney function wanes, making potassium a tightrope. Blood sugar sensitivity sharpens, turning sugar spikes into energy drains. Medications multiply, their delicate balance easily tipped. Recognizing these shifts isn't defeat, it's empowerment. It's the chance to rewrite the menu in a way that honors both taste and well-being. This doesn't mean fruit becomes the enemy. It's about swapping wisely. Ditch watermelon's sugar rush for cucumber's cool hydration. Trade orange's acidity for kiwi's gentle vitamin C or bell pepper's crunch. Skip banana's potassium punch for berry's antioxidant lift. These aren't sacrifices, they're upgrades, flavors that deliver nutrition without the fallout. The shift can feel daunting. Why fix what's not broken? But the body whispers its needs through aches, sluggishness, or restless nights. Listening takes courage, acting takes care. For many, dietary habits are a fortress of routine, built over decades. Change can seem like a chore or a loss. Yet the payoff is tangible. Mornings with more pep, digestion that doesn't fight back, a heart ticking steadily. It starts small, swapping one fruit, cutting a portion, timing a snack. Notice how you feel after eating. Lighter? Steadier? That's the compass. Aging well isn't deprivation, it's intention. It's choosing foods that fuel vitality, not just nostalgia. The years ahead deserve that clarity. A tweak today, say, berries over bananas, can mean fewer pills, better sleep, and a body that thanks you. Living longer is the goal. Living better is the reward. Well, there you have it. 8 fruits that might seem harmless but could be quietly impacting your health as you age, and some delicious, safer swaps to keep you feeling your best. Aging well isn't about giving up what you love. It's about making smarter choices that support your body's changing needs. So, what have you learned so far? I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with one thing you've learned today and plan to put into practice in your own life. Let's inspire each other. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips to live healthier and stronger. Thanks for watching. Here's to thriving at every age.